Hail, adventurers! Come, join us, sit down at all these seats that I'm surrounded by. So, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Something I don't really normally do, but it's something that I'm getting into, and I want this to also be on my channel. Just to, you know, it's good to talk about things. And today, we're going to be doing Ker Nethalas into the Midnight Throne. And I don't know why I'm doing this. Ker Nethalas into the Midnight Throne. This was designed and written by Alex T. From Black Oath Entertainment, I believe. I may be completely just getting this all wrong, and if I do, I apologize. So I've been slowly getting into my solo tabletop adventures, my RPGs, my solo dungeon survival games. For example, I've really gotten into 4 Against Darkness. That's the first one I got into a couple weeks ago, and I'm in love with that. I've just got 2d6 dungeon. I've not played it yet. I'm just reading through it because there's a lot. It's a lot of tables, and it kind of confuses me a little bit. So I'm trying to just make sure I understand things before I just go, let's just fall into things and fail. And then Ker Nethalas, I actually stumbled upon a video by Lone Adventurer. I'll put the link to their video down below. And it made me just want to try playing this, right? So, first things first, before I even, like, talk about the world and then we do the character creation. I need to put across that compared to the other solo games that I compared it to, like 4 Against Darkness, this is way more in depth. It's more gritty, it's more dark. And for a noob person like me, just getting into these things, it can get a little bit confusing. So maybe not for noobs, but this will probably, like, I think going through this with you all will probably change my mind on that. But yeah, I want to go through this. I want us to play it. I want us to experience it. I want us to enjoy it. And I want it to change my mind about it not being for new players like me. So, here is the info about the world. So, the world above. There is a kingdom known as Alderworth. And in the heart of Alderworth, the kingdom, is a city called Veldonia, which pretty much is like this web metropolis along the east coast. And it was this huge, thriving place that's fallen into corruption, not just from the elite families and the nobles, but also because of religious cults. But outside of the kingdom, there is a lot of different cultures and empires that stretch in all directions. So we're technically not limited to this. I'm pretty sure he's released like an expansion to this. So it's not just going to be... I think he's going to expand more of this to maybe go across like the world more. Because the fact that he's written about like there is a kingdom, there are others out there, gives me hope. But a lot of the people in this world tend to go to Veldonia because it attracts them because it has this seat of power in the world, and that's really what drives people to go to this city. But the main thing is that we have a world below, and that world is Ker Nethalas. And Ker Nethalas is basically what is left of this mighty place known as Belorian. And it is a long forgotten empire of necromancers. This, just for that reason, I'm pretty sure Ven would like it just for the necromancer mention. There's rumors that in the heart of Ker Nethalas, there is the Midnight Throne, this huge obsidian throne on this dais that basically has knowledge and wealth and all these other things kind of just like slumped together with it. And that's where the ancient rulers sat. And that's basically it. It does go into a bit more detail in the book, but we then kind of go into the character creation. So let me just read that for you. Before you even open your eyes, a wave of nauseating stench hits you, immediately causing you to heave, the bitter taste of bile in your mouth. Your whole body hurts, and you can feel an intense burning around your neck. With some hesitation, you manage to sit up from the pile of soft refuse you appear to be lying on top of. To your horror, you quickly discover that this is not garbage, but a pile of decaying human corpses. Bloated faces and sunken eyes stare blankly at you, illuminated by a single ray of sunlight coming from very high above your head. A flood of memories comes rushing back. You were executed. You quickly stand up, your head swimming while you check your throat. You immediately wince in pain, the flesh tender to the touch. There's no doubt about it, you were hung. You tried to speak, but the words come out as a grunt, your throat too damaged and dried to produce any other sound. You turn away from the rotting pile of flesh and look around you. You find yourself a large empty chamber, the only light coming from a hole some 30 meters up above. There's no way you'll be able to climb back up there. Rats the size of cats edge around you, nibbling on the dead, too fat and well fed to even bother hiding or fighting each other for the best bits. Ahead of you, you see what appears to be a crack in the wall, wide enough for you to go through. There's no doubt in your mind of where you are. Ker Nethalas, the Midnight Throne. Everyone in Veldonia has heard the stories about this vast underground necropolis that was once the capital of Valorian ascendancy, for their demise. You also know that nobody has ever come back alive from such a place. Considering you're in rags, injured and exhausted, your chances are not good. Somehow though, you've cheated death, and there must be a way out of here. Hesitantly, you head towards the breach in the wall, hoping to find something you can use to increase your chance at survival. So, let me just change this for us. So, we've got our character sheet. Everything's on there, and it pretty much gives us everything we need to know and do, and all that sort of stuff. So, it basically says, you are alive. Barely, but alive. You've been punished for a crime that you may or may not have committed, but Anaria smiles upon you, and against all odds, you're still among the living. To begin with, choose a name, gender, age, and overall appearance. Write on the character sheet that you are level 1. You are now ready to start making your character. So, this is where I like to really get into this, because I love character creation in games. Though some of these, they don't really have races and classes in some of these, and I kind of want to find one where it does have that. But the main thing is, we are level 1. You also may have noticed that we do have a death counter above, because I'm pretty sure, as we go through this and do this as a series, because I do want to do this as a series, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die quite a lot. Fun times! So, our name, we're going to be called Clive Alive, because we're alive. Thank you to Ven for giving me that name when we do Fighting Fantasy, because that's now been the name of every single thing we've ever been in one of these. So, the main thing is, we get a D20 to roll for what crime we're accused for. So, starting from number 1 all the way to 20, we've got highway robbery, witchcraft, poaching, smuggling, piracy, murder, sedition, oh god, I can't pronounce that word apparently, treason, counterfeiting, housebreaking, vagrancy, dueling, rioting, blasphemy, grave robbery, fraud, trespassing, clandestine marriage, child theft, and sodomy. So let's just roll, hopefully, a good, so we've got an 8. We've got an 8. So we've got treason, engaging in activities that betray or threaten the monarchy, such as plotting against the king. I mean, I'm down for that. I'm actually going to put that in, I'm going to put it in these notes here. So, accused of treason. So, beautiful. Long live the king and all that jazz. So that's the first part. We're good. It then goes into character attributes, health, toughness, aether, sanity, magic resistance, exhaustion, exhaust resistance, and all that sort of jazz. So character attributes. Your character's attributes determine the most elemental aspects of their body and soul and define how much more horror and punishment they'll be able to sustain while exploring the necropolis. So, main thing we need to do now is health. Health is a measure of how much damage your body can take before dying, obviously. Your character's starting health is calculated by rolling a d6 plus 8. Watch me show you my math skills. Ooh, okay, so that's alright. What is that? 13? So our health is 13. Now, I do have prints out of this, but I thought it might be easy for us to show on here, but hopefully you can actually all see that on the screen. And I hope you can. We're at 13, 13. Beautiful. Let's see. Toughness. Toughness represents your character's resilience and ability to sustain non-critical damage. So small cuts, bruises, and small minor accidents that pose non-life-threatening damage. So they're easy to recover from. So this one is 2d6 plus 10. Thank God I've got a horde of dice. Too bad I've got the dice curse where I don't roll well. So our toughness score is... so sad. 14. Kind of hoping I would have got better, but there we go. Let's see. Character recover D4 toughness immediately after a fight is over. Okay, that's good to know. I might need to make a note of that. Aether. Aether is a representation of a character's spiritual and psychic power and is used to cast spells. It's a D6 plus 8, so... Bless me, man sneeze. I should not roll physical dice anymore, I'm thinking. So that's a 9. We're rolling really bad. I'm actually quite shocked how bad we're doing. Okay, so sanity represents your character's ability to maintain fully lucid and sane despite the many horrors they witness. D6 plus 8. So this is one of the things that really drew me into it, was the sanity aspect, because I love Lovecraft, I love my Call of Cthulhu, and all that jazz, and anything with sanity is like, cool, that's a nice little thing. At least it's not a 1. So, 10, great. Our sanity is 10. Damn, okay. Exhaustion resistance represents fatigue, exposure, hunger, injuries. Oh, we have hunger in this. Character goes down too long without sleep or food, or undergoes strenuous physical activity without resting, they're going to start occurring exhaustion. So our character start with 0 exhaustion resistance. Resistance is 0. There we go. So that's the main thing. We now have certain amount of points that we can actually spend on these. So this is where we can kind of like flesh out our character even more. Skills can never go over 80 under natural circumstances, but magic items that increase these do. They are the only exception, basically. So the numbers beside the brackets are the starting scores, but we have a certain amount of skill points that we can put into these as well. So we got one that we can add 60 to a weapon skill. I would like a bladed weapon, to be honest, because stabbing things is fun. So I'm going to put, we got plus 60 to one weapon skill. That's going to be a 60. Right? But I bet there's going to be certain enemies that can only get hurt by certain weapons, so bladed or bludgeoning and so on. Plus 40 to another one. So the main thing is that I don't think there'll be like a bow and arrow and stuff like that, because we're pretty much in like close to like confined areas, so they would be useless. So add 30 to 3 skills. So I definitely think we should have Scavenge, because that's how we're going to start to get things, right? So that's 1. That's going to be 20, because that's its automatic number. Resolve. I think Resolve should be one of them, so we'll make that 40. Medicine, I definitely want Medicine, so that's our 30s done. Then we get to add 20 to 3 skills. Endurance, Dodge, so that's going to make that 10 to a 30. Oh, I didn't even think of this. Actually, we'll turn that into a... It's going to be all... Which means I will make that a There we go. So we had to move that around again. So we've got 20, 20. And we need one more that we can add 22, which I guess would be this. So, and then we get 10 to add to 4. So this is where we're going to add 10, 10, 10, and 10. So with this is what it reminds me of Call of Cthulhu very much, is that we roll a D100 for these. So we want to roll that number or below. So hopefully we'll find some things that will help us. It basically describes what we need these things for, which it's pretty much self-explanatory, so that's fine. But we also have to do masteries. We get to pick 2. We start the game with 2 ability points, and which is 2 masteries that we can get, but we can only get tier 1. But each one has like a passive thing they can do. And the other thing about this is you'll see that we also have a light source. We start off with, well, you need a light source to basically find your way in the darkness of this huge like dungeon, because there's no natural light because we're underground, obviously. And with this, it's basically saying, I think 1 torch is 20 rooms it can go through, and we have to mark them down as we go along, and then the torch goes out, and then we can basically, like, it's going to affect our sanity, and events can happen because of that. But we have different masteries. So we've got this the only thing that I've fault with is that I can't read like, that's Abyssal something. Reaver? We'll just read these. So we've got Abyssal Reaver, we've got an Arcanist, Brawler, Bulwark, which means we just like to ignore all penalties with wearing any sort of armor, Dustblade, Emissary, I don't know what that says, Hamcaster? Ham? I don't know. Frostweaver, Gravecaller, Hexmaster, Ironcaller, Mindbinder, Ritualist, Stormbrand, oh my god, Tracker, Umbra, Phantom, Weapon Master. I think Weapon Master already calls me. We've got Wraith, Wraith Spawn, Zealot, and that's literally what we need to choose from. And each one has a passive they have, and then a tier. Now, I've had a look through these already, and I definitely know what I kind of want, which is Weapon Master would be good, because our passive is choose a weapon. Your weapon skill is increased by 20, and the damage you deal by default when wielding it. So that's what I want. So we're going to go with Weapon Master first. Let me try and do this. Passive, weapon skill. Weapon skill increased. Oh, increased by 20. And damage. And let me move down to this one. Extra. Oh, what was it? A D4? D4 damage. There we go. Me trying to spell them right. Not good. Our tier 1 is Evasive Strike. Which is, I'm going to put that in capitals. Which is 1 action. And requires a melee. Melee. Oh my god. Attack. Check. You strike your opponent while at the same time sidestepping their attack. If you score a hit, your next defense check receives +2. Let me just do if suck. If suck. If suck. That makes sense to me, but not really. So that's the thing, and then we can actually, as we go, like, as we progress and we level up, we can get different tiers and stuff like that. It's definitely Weapon Master. Now, there was one that I saw before. Because obviously we need to have a lantern in this, we can actually have a mastery where we use a little bit of magic, And we can get dark sight, so we don't have to worry so much about having a light source. So, and this also adds to our resistance for sanity and magic. So let me just write that in. So it's an Umbra Phantom. We get, our passive is plus 10 magic resistance. This. And plus 5 sanity. Oh. So let me add that onto there. So our sanity is now 15, which is a little bit better. And our magic resistance is now at a 10. Beautiful. Perfect. So we get dark sight, which is here. So we get... Brilliant. If I could spell. And when we use these skills, right, we have to use our ether. So it's a sustained thing. So as long as when we use it, our permanent point will go down to a 4 because it's 5 points to use. So we won't really be able to do anything else. But let's just pop that in there. Cost 5A. If sustained. If help if I could spell. Yeah, we can see an absolute darkness as if there were like broad day, as if we were in broad daylight. So that's all good. There we go. So that's our thing now. And you notice that we don't really start with like any other like equipment or anything like that. That's pretty much it for us. It then goes into how to level up and everything, and depending on the difficulty you want to play or certain roles, it'll tell you if they're going to be easy or hard, and so on like that. But that's pretty much our character. We've got Clive alive. We don't have any items because obviously we were executed. But yeah, so at the back of the books, all the rest of the stuff is tables and different things to know and learn. But at the back, it does have your first domain, which is like the starter thing to kind of teach you a little bit of how to play, how to do. And you can get equipment and then start doing your own dungeon dive. But we're going to be doing that on the next one. So thank you for watching us. That's Clive alive. Oh, I did forget. Personal goals. With personal goals, we'll do that when we do the first domain because it tells us what to pick as a beginner. But yeah, that's Clive alive. Clive alive is made. We are sorted and ready to go into our first domain, which we'll be doing next time. Thank you for watching. Sorry it's been a bit of a fumble around, but I'm excited to do this. So I will see you all next time. Be good, make good decisions, and love. Cheers.